Las Vegas Sheriff Joe Lombardo, even the night of the shooting, was calm and composed. But in subsequent press conferences, he is agitated. He is scared. He acts like he is in fear of his life. And we're about to go to some of those press conference clips here in a moment. But then when you discover who's in control of this investigation, then you understand why he's so concerned and why my sources in federal law enforcement and others are concerned, from what they know, that the sheriff of Las Vegas is being threatened and that his life is in danger and that he could be suicided or arkancided at any time to cover up what really happened in Las Vegas.
There's been multiple phone calls and accusations or conjecture coming through social media that there's multiple shooters at other resorts. That has been proven to be false.
1049, I need medical for that caliber to come up to the North Valet,
She said there was no gunfire outside the Bellagio Hotel last night.
Please be advised, now we're getting shots fired at Caesars and the Bellagio.
I don't want to give you a skewed timeline.
I do believe that there was 100% more than one shooter.
It sounded like a gang battle. It sounded like overlapping fire.
We got reports of a guy with a gun here. 705 Victor, what's your location? We're at the Paris. Copy, is a male with a 413 at the Paris. Subject with a 413 at Paris.
Is that reported or confirmed?
We got people running, and we got security point trying to point out where the gunman is, and we can't find him.
Yeah, so there was a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue into the first row, and she started messing with another lady and told us that we were all gonna die tonight. It was about 45 minutes before the shots were actually fired.
There is no conspiracy between the FBI, between LVMPD, and the MGM. And a couple of these items I will read from the narrative, because I don't want my comments to be construed or changed. So I wanted to ensure the accuracy of that. But most of this conference will be done strictly through my narrative provided to you. Okay? The dates of the 25th versus the 28th. This was not breaking news, no matter who believed it to be so in this forum. We were aware of the discrepancy of the 28th versus the 25th in the early parts of this investigation. What we weren't aware of is why the date of the 28th was utilized in the early portion of this, as I was provided this information as part of the person registered in the suspect's room. So there is no conspiracy between the FBI, between LVMPD, and the MGM. Nobody is attempting to hide anything reference this investigation. The dynamics and the size of this investigation requires us to go through voluminous amounts of information in order to draw an accurate picture. My intent, like I stated earlier, is to give you information as I know it, unverified, to calm the public, not to establish a legal case. Everybody understand that? No question, sir.
Las Vegas Sheriff Joe Lombardo is running scared. InfoWars was the first on Monday morning, October 2nd, 2017, to report to the world, according to our FBI sources, that they found inside the reported shooter's hotel room at Mandalay Bay ISIS and Antifa paraphernalia. The news is lying. FBI HRT did the hit on the guy, and they found Antifa information in the room and photos of the woman in the Middle East. So he did not kill himself. The FBI hostage rescue team killed him because he was firing on them. So he did not want to be taken alive, and reportedly he did it. And it was Antifa crap everywhere and other things I'm not supposed to mention. That is directly from the hostage rescue team, by the way, Paul. And now the sheriff, after being threatened by the FBI, is having to double down and push the official story. This is after he signaled in the first week that there's no doubt that the mass shooter had help and that he'd clearly been radicalized.
I don't know if we have possible future prosecution. You heard me say that we're comfortable that we have the suspect in custody, but something more may come of that investigation. And I want to understand the motivation that you described, okay, to prevent any future incidents. And, did this person get radicalized unbeknownst to us? And we want to identify that source.
What we do know for 100% certainty is this. There is a massive cover-up that is now ongoing. The Sheriff's Department, under the control of the FBI and a Robert Mueller protege known for his corruption in law enforcement, have blocked conservative and independent press from the latest press conferences. On top of that, we've now learned from the victims and survivors that all of their cell phones were scooped up and everything was downloaded and then erased when it was given back to them. And other victims have been threatened to remove their videos from YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms. In fact, some of the victims that survived, who reportedly saw two shooters, have now unexplainably died. Then we have Jesus Campos, the armed security guard at Mandalay, who a full 6 minutes before Paddock supposedly opens fire out of the window on the crowd is shooting hundreds of shots down the hallway at him. He was going to be interviewed by Sean Hannity on Friday, but now he's disappeared and no one knows where he is. Ladies and gentlemen, this cover-up is massive. ISIS took responsibility, and even AP admitted that when ISIS takes responsibility, almost always they are involved. And the media demonized me for even pointing out they'd taken responsibility, and that our sources said they found evidence that Mr. Paddock and his girlfriend had traveled to the Middle East. Days later, it was confirmed that he and his girlfriend had traveled many times to the Middle East. InfoWars broke that information, yet again showing our sources are real and accurate inside the FBI.
Let me back up just a minute. In the early throes of this tragedy, I had advised each and every one of you that items of information were going to change. The dynamics of this investigation is far-reaching, it's wide, it's huge, and you can't expect exact answers in the early throes. My intent in the early throes were to give you the information to provide that calmness in the community to ensure that we didn't have a second player or a third player out hiding in the community intending to cause us harm.
We are doing a thorough investigation and only want to provide what is accurate to you. We will only give information that we have vetted and know to be true. I will not be speaking or answering questions on issues that we do not have the facts yet.
So we will get through that. I'm not giving you 100% satisfaction associated with what I'm going to give you today, because I think some of that's going to change. And we will not know that until we're completed with this investigation.
Again, let's be clear. We have uninjured survivors of the attack. 28-year-old women that just dropped dead, who are witnesses saying there's a cover-up. We've got all the firearms experts out there, special forces, you name it, saying clearly it's not a bump stock, it's a belt-fed light machine gun. We've got the FBI grabbing up all the surveillance footage and trying to keep it from getting on the internet, and then not releasing any of the footage from inside the casino Mandalay or from the attack that night. And then we've got the shadow of Robert Mueller. It's well known that he has stay-behind networks inside the FBI and to a great extent has control of the FBI to this day. And we have his protege, Aaron Rouse, known throughout the federal government as a very, very scary globalist operative in charge of this whole thing, glaring at the sheriff who is clearly upset, clearly threatened, and clearly fearing for his life. This is beyond any Hollywood movie I've ever seen. This is critical. Our federal law enforcement sources cannot give us specific intel because it's classified. But when pressed, they told me Aaron Rouse, just like his boss Mueller before, covered up Islamic connections to terror attacks here in America before and basically ordered air marshals, FBI, you name it, to stop investigations. That's the info we've got, is that he is a specialist at covering up and basically enabling Islamic terror. That's really important when you see ISIS taking responsibility. And the FBI, before the bodies were even cold, Monday morning saying, we rule this out, they weren't involved.
As this event unfolds, we have determined to this point no connection with an international terrorist group. As this investigation continues, we will continue to work with our partners to ensure that this is factually, thoroughly, and absolutely investigated to be able to bring comfort and peace back to this community.
Ladies and gentlemen, from our intel, they weren't just involved, they ran the whole operation. And this was supposed to kick off an entire cascade of attacks. We know there's a cover-up. The question is, what is the cover-up of?
There is no conspiracy between the FBI, between LVMPD, and the MGM. Nobody is attempting to hide anything. Reference this investigation.
We know there's a cover-up. The big issue here is this sheriff is like a deer in the headlights. And we know the official story is now a lie, and he's coming out and saying, no, trust me, it's all true. Our timeline's correct, even though all the facts show it isn't. That's why now, more importantly than ever, it's up to we the people to get the word out online and to realize that even YouTube and Facebook admit that they are censoring alternative views and research about this event because they don't want the independent press to continue to investigate. Those of us that questioned it on day one have now been proven right that there's a cover-up. That's why it's more important than ever that citizen journalists get involved now, especially knowing the corrupt history of the FBI, especially under the Clintons and Obama, of helping orchestrate and then cover up events like we just saw in Vegas. The good news is they were trying to use this ISIS attack to go after our Second Amendment, but because intrepid investigators and citizen journalists exposed it from day one, they've suddenly dropped all their gun control and want this story to go away. I know here at InfoWars, we're not going to let it go away. And I know out there on the ground across this country, you're not going to let it go as well. I'm Alex Jones. If you're watching this transmission, you are the resistance. You need to pray for the sheriff because he's clearly crying out for help in all of his mannerisms, in all of his body language. And that head FBI agent in charge with his background and his MO is clearly there intimidating him and controlling what comes out. It's time for the American people to stand up and demand the truth. We're still facing a lot of corrupt forces that are dug in and entrenched. But the good news is, in 2017, everybody's got a camera and people are documenting. And there's no way when you do something in public like this to cover it up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're running the biggest special we've ever had for our best-selling product, Brain Force, now Brain Force Plus. There's 20% more in each bottle. And we're now purchasing so much of it from the major organic manufacturer here in the United States that we've been able to get it for less. So I'm offering for the first time ever 50% off. And I thought I could offer this for maybe a month. I'm going to have to stop this special within a week because it is blasting out of our warehouse because the fans of it already are stocking up. They know how great it is. A whole bunch of organic, natural, healthy, known nootropics. Nootropic means for the brain. And if you want good, clean, focused energy, then Brain Force is for you, and you're supporting the broadcast at the same time. So for a limited time, ladies and gentlemen, Brain Force Plus is now 50% off or $19.96. That comes to 50.03, a little bit over 50% off the regular price. Similar nootropics that aren't even as pure or strong cost $50 to $70. It's a good deal at $39. It's $19.96 at InfoWarsLife.com or simply call toll-free 888-253-3139. And when you purchase Brain Force Plus or any of the other great products like Secret 12, Caveman, Oxy Powder, Super Mel Vitality, our fluoride-free Super Blue, Colloidal Silver, and Iodine Empowered toothpaste, you get to support the information war and get really high-quality products When you sign up for auto ship, you always get 10% off. And there's free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com and InfoWarsLife.com. There's free shipping on all orders of $50 or more. Again, that's InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. I want to just briefly thank listeners for their support of the broadcast and remind listeners that we are listener supported, and it is your financial support getting good products in return that you need, and that symbiotic relationship and that 360 win that makes everything here we do possible. And we're not just going to have to end in the next week the Brain Force Plus special 50% off. I'm going to have to end even sooner our Caveman Ultimate Paleo Bone Broth, Turmeric, Chaga Mushroom, Bee Pollen, and more concentrate. You talk about next level meal replacement, next level compared to whey, and it's great to mix with whey and then make shakes. It's incredible. My son is growing like a weed using it. He's bigger than I am already at 15. Incredible. It is amazing. InfoWarsLife.com, 50% off Caveman, but only a few days left. It's about to end. And folks, the globalists hate it when you do this. We're the tip of the spear because we're fearless, we're bold, because we understand the stakes are too high. The globalists win, we're all slaves. So don't thank me for what I'm doing. I want to thank you. We're all in this together. And when you get the great Molon Labe t-shirts, and you get the great books and videos, and when you get the great water filtration, you help yourself, you help your family. When you get the great air filtration systems, all of them, on sale right now at InfoWarsLife.com, you're funding the tip of the spear. But these specials have got to end. I mean, it may just be 4 or 5 days left that I'm able to offer Brain Force at this price because it's selling out so incredibly quickly at 50% off. But again, thank you all for your support because this helps fund our operation as we expand in the face of the globalists. Again, visit InfoWarsStore.com today and commit to helping the InfoWar. Funding the InfoWar is now more important than ever. And when you fund the InfoWar, you get incredible high-quality products at InfoWarsLife.com. That's 50% off Brain Force Plus and 50% off Caveman, but only for 1 week.